All right, we are live. Welcome, everyone. Let me make sure we're live on the Facebook, on my Facebook, my laptop in my lap. We've got the comments up so we can peep. Yep, perfect. We are. Yeah, make sure my volume's off. All right, good morning, everyone. So I've got David here with me this morning, and him and his wife run an amazing HVAC company in the Mesquite, Dallas area. Tell us a little about your company, your service area, and what all you guys do.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
We own Lavender AC and Heating out of Mesquite, and we typically service all the DFW areas, anywhere from Forney going back in towards almost Fort Worth. We service that ring. What we do is we offer, preventative maintenance, service, repair, and new installation as well as indoor air quality and blown in insulation. That way, anything to do with your home's heating and air conditioning system and um, indoor quality of air, we offer all those services.
That's phenomenal. How long you guys been in business?
10 years. 10 years, August 10th of this year.
Wow, that's a big year then.
Yeah.
It's
So,
a really big year. What you guys obviously and you guys I say just, it's been a few months, been rebranded. I'm loving the logo in the back on the wall. It looks so good.
yeah, we did a rebrand with Dan Antonelli. Just changed everything, to show the progression over the 10 years of how we got in the industry and where we are now.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. You guys went to a training event in Austin not that long ago, and you gave me a call and you were so excited. You were like, "We need to do this. We need to do this." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Awesome." And so I worked on it and we got it going and live. And I just want to promote it because because I had no idea what it was. I was like, I'm going to do some research on this thing and learn about it. Obviously, I'm going to be marketing it. I want to know what it is. And so I dove into it and I was like, I want one of these for my home. Like I even registered for myself. I'm probably not going to win, but I want one. So tell us about this unit that you're giving away.
We got around some great people at that event, Profit Rocket, Victor and Cruz event. And they were just like, if you believe in the product so much, let someone else try it. And so we're like, you know what? We're just going to give one of them away. Um, I have it in my own home. It's the Active Air scrubber. and I have bad indoor allergies. So when I put that in my house, I actually noticed that I could breathe and not having so much red eyes. A little bit different at the office. I don't have one in here yet, but I'm working
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But it helps take care of smells, odors, helps cut down on the dust, like everything about it. I've had it now for like 4 years,
Dang.
and I've changed the little cell, and you're gonna have to change like twice a year and stuff like that. But um, it works fine, and we can actually tell when he goes out because we start noticing dust, or I
Mm.
start noticing allergens in the house that start making me sneeze or get red eyed. But since we have it, it's a great product. We put it in a lot of our clients' homes, and so now we're just going to offer it to someone out there that doesn't know anything about it, or help them get a
Yeah.
little better air in their own home.
Yeah. So, like, how long does it take to put in? What's the installation process look like?
Installation is about 45 minutes to an hour.
That's not bad. And it can go on any age of unit?
Any age of unit. This is just basically an accessory we add into the supply airstream of the unit, and
Okay.
that way, then as the blower turns on, it distributes it through the home and helps sanitize the air.
Oh, that's awesome. Like I said, the research that I've done and just like the even like the hospitals that use it and then like NASA that uses it, like I was just blown away by how much is actually out there that we can and then to that we can put it in our homes to protect our homes.
Yeah, it's a great price. So I got to sample it when I was a technician,
Mhm.
and then when I opened my own business, I had a different brand because I just wanted to try and see what the other brands were. But it eventually led back to the air scrubber. It was, to me,
Yeah.
a better product.
Yeah.
And I noticed the difference within inside of an hour inside of the house of the air running and circulating.
That fast.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really good. That is really good. What What size home does this cover? And do you need a separate unit if you wanna put one in your house versus your office? Like, or is it the same unit?
That same unit. Typically, I cover up to about 2,000 to 20, about 2,200 square foot home on the max end of it. Um, Office is just depending on the size of the space. It's trying to condition as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, just one typically in a normal household will typically work perfectly fine.
And does this work on mini splits, or is this just the traditional?
No, it's traditional right now. I don't see the mini. They have some that are designed for mini splits, but it's just different brands. I haven't seen actually one from air
I
scrubbers.
got you. Awesome. Yeah, so the giveaway, obviously, there's no restrictions. It's there's a little I'll drop in my on this live, probably after it's done, I'll drop the link and you just put in your information and that's it. And then we're gonna do or David's gonna do a drawing the 1st of November.
Yeah, we'll do it live on Facebook. Hopefully, you can help us stream it all the way out.
Absolutely,
Put it
not a problem.
right off into a wheel, let it spin, and click a winner. That's how we're gonna do it.
There you go. Yeah, that's how we did a tool giveaway for our construction group, and that's pretty much what we did. Like, we took the numbers, 1 through however many entries we had and said, "Give us a random number," and it did. So, it
Yeah,
worked out.
same thing. That's how we're gonna do that drawing there, and then we're fixing to ramp up for our Thanksgiving giveaway.
Oh, tell us about that.
So last year we gave 5 families 5 Thanksgiving meals, the way they wanted it, not what we wanted to give them. We let them choose their whole list, send it to us.
Wow,
We went and ordered all their food and meals, and we took it to their home.
that's phenomenal. So, how are you gonna launch that out? Is there how can I help with that? How can the community help with that?
Any way they want to help with it. Typically, like I said last year, I got in the Mesquite Facebook group page,
Uh-huh.
and I posted in all those. And
Okay.
I got 5 families. So this year we're gonna try to do 10.
Okay. Okay.
uh,
So, yeah, so, what I'm thinking, like me, is like, let's do an entry, so we could do a form for people to apply to go in, and then we can do another link for people to donate, so
yes,
that we can get the communities and things to help. It's gonna be tight this year. Like, for us and I've noticed there's been a lot of social media stuff where people are talking about the price of groceries. Like, that's one of the number 1 largest impacts right now where families are feeling the screws. Like, we've had time to adjust to fuel prices, right? And we've had fuel prices have been in the $3 range for some time, and we've adjusted for that. But this inflation on food has been just insane.
yeah, it was insane last year. I mean, the entries we ended up with last year was just it was it was crazy,
Yeah,
and the homes that we ended up in, God bless those people. Like, oh my goodness, like
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. It felt good. I mean, like we do so much in the community. We just want to make sure. I mean, the community takes care of us. We want to make sure we're taking care of them as well.
Amen.
So
Yeah,
that's one of our biggest deals for April. I mean, sorry, ooh, I'm thinking too far ahead. November.
yeah, yeah,
uh,
exactly.
but yeah, that's our next biggest deal is getting all the families taken care of as many as we can for Thanksgiving this year.
That's phenomenal.
As most of everyday people just struggle, and just something like that. If we can take something off their shoulders for one
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
that's we don't mind.
No, I'm gonna look up what the average I just wanna, like, because this is just us chilling out, hanging out, and, having a good time and just talking about life, and I'm gonna look up real quick what the average cost of a Thanksgiving meal is. What does a Thanksgiving meal cost? What the average is? Anybody have any guesses?
I know last year was like I'm gonna say with everything that we got on just a basic list from someone just wanted basic items was close to like $300,
Yeah, yeah.
and
They're gonna say this year the average cost per person to sit at the table is gonna range anywhere from $64 to $75 per person to sit at the table.
yeah,
I could see that. Wow. And I'm sure that's nothing, like, extravagant, right? Like
No, we were amazed by like some of them just thought we were just gonna pick the meal. You know,
mhm,
we were just gonna pick their food and then just deliver it.
mhm.
We didn't do that. One family had their home burnt down literally the week
Wow,
of Thanksgiving, and so we actually had to rush and get a fully cooked meal for them as they were in a hotel. So we were able to knock that out with some help and some.
wow. Yeah. I
But
remember I remember one Christmas, I picked a family to do, uh, Christmas presents for, like, the whole family, and they it just you get just a really small blip of what's going on in their family and their life, and, it was one of the very first times because normally you don't ever get to really interact with who it is that you're doing something good with or for, and so, I got to actually interact with the family and drop it off that time, and they were using a wood-burning stove to heat their home. And the heat didn't travel to some of the further bedrooms, which were the children's bedrooms, and so they were, like, sleeping in the living room to keep their children warm, and the youngest child, who was 3, had actually had a heart transplant, and so they were just trying to keep him and, like, could you imagine the air quality in that home with a you know, a s like a wood-burning stove? You know, like, that's what we don't take we need to start counting our blessings, and that's what I love about doing work in the community because it really makes you thankful for what you've got, and it makes you check yourself because we really don't have it as bad as what we think we do.
mm-mm, no, not even close. I couldn't even. I I guess I used to always tell people I grew up very on the low end. But I grew up way better than the low end. Like,
Mhm.
oh my goodness, wow! Like I said, it was eye opening,
Yeah,
and just to do that was very good.
yeah, that's awesome. Well, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to being able to drop that Thanksgiving stuff. We'll get that designed and ready to go for November 1st, or do you need it to go out sooner?
Yeah, we could start here in about another week.
Okay,
So
alright. I look
that way
forward to
we
that.
can get everything lined up because getting actually finding the families it's not as easy. A lot of people don't want to come forward.
Yeah.
They feel like they don't want to, like it's too big of a handout. Like, look, we've
Mhm,
all been in a bad situation at one point in our life, and
mhm.
sometimes you're gonna have to reach out for help. And we're just glad that we can give the help to some of the families.
Yeah, and also too, like, the way I look at it is like, "Hey, let us help you buy Thanksgiving so maybe you can buy Christmas."
Yep, that was
Like
like I said, take one day off of their shoulders.
mhm,
They ain't got to worry about nothing. All they got to do is prep their own meal.
mhm. Yeah, that the experience and for me, that's always one of my biggest things, it's why I love Thanksgiving so much is because I know I'm not in the kitchen alone, and so I love the cooking of the meal because a kid wants to help peel the potatoes or, wants to chop up something or dice something. They wanna learn and be there and be taught. And so I love that you're not just delivering like a finished meal, that you're allowing them to build those memories and experiences with whatever family they want.
Yeah, and like I said, that was the fun part for us was seeing some of them that were reserved and someone that was just like, hey, I really would like this, but I understand if you can't give it to us. And it's like,
Yeah,
well, just write it on the list. We'll make it happen one way or another.
that's
And
awesome.
yeah, it was. I mean, we pulled it all off. We had one that she had to her the wife had to work Thanksgiving Day, so she wasn't able to cook a turkey.
That's been me. That
And
is me.
so she's like, I'm just gonna do a ham because my husband can heat that up. Nah, we'll get you a cooked turkey. So Thanksgiving morning, I dropped off a smoked turkey for him
Ooh,
and stuff like that. Like, there, you want a turkey? There you go.
there you go,
So when
yeah.
you get home from work, all you gotta do is warm it up.
Yeah. Well, if you need help and assistance in smoking something, Jason, I know will love to help. We've got smokers in room. So we can help if there's a way to help besides the marketing and, getting the resources and stuff out there. But so 2 exciting things. We've got the air scrubber giveaway, uh, and obviously Thanksgiving now. I had no idea. Like I'm so excited. Like so excited.
I thought I had told you that we did that last year.
No.
Yeah, so much goes on. You start like
Mhm.
you look up, it's already halfway through the month, and you're like, oh my
Yes.
God.
Yeah. I mean, I was just talking to my 16-year-old dropping or 16, my senior, my 17-year-old, dropping her off at school this morning. I said, "It feels like school starts and it's Christmas." Like, the second school starts, you just might as well count on being at Christmas. Like, because we're already I'm looking, the weather's starting to change, the sun it's getting darker earlier, like, all of these things, and I'm like, "It was summer and now it's Christmas." Like,
Mine just had a fall break. She was off for a week.
dang.
Like,
And they're gonna get Thanksgiving break too.
yeah, like I was blown. I was like, a fall break? What do you mean? Like, we never got a fall
That's
break.
new. Yeah, I didn't get fall break neither.
Yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah,
Oh,
it was crazy. She's at home all week. So
you know what? I mean, our kids are under so much stress. I feel like our children are under more stress now than we were as kids. Obviously, we didn't have social media. We didn't have the level of, like, we just didn't have the level we have today of everything. Sports, teaching, education, like, the level wasn't there. And so I'm all about them having an extra week to be off because they're gonna hit 18 and they're not gonna have that extra week.
now that's when life begins.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm all about it. So the air scrubber that you're giving away, true giveaway, there's no hidden costs, hidden fees.
Nothing. You literally, once your name is picked, we'll reach out. We'll set up a time and day to do the install. Me and the technician will show up. We'll install it into the system for you, um, and it's yours.
There you go. And you said there's a little bit of maintenance for the unit itself. Go into that a little bit more.
Yeah, about every 2 years you'll have what's called a cell replacement. It's the actual cartridge that goes in the unit that makes everything work.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like anything else over time, it's gonna go out and it's gonna need to be replaced. And that about 2 year mark on it.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, it's about a two
And if
year
you're
mark.
having your maintenance done on your unit anyways, I mean,
They're gonna like when we do them at maintenance and we see them, we go through and check them to make sure everything's functioning properly as it should be. And when we put it in, we put a date on it, and we also label it into our system so that way we know when we're going out to check it and make sure it's up to its standards from the
there you go.
manufacturer. If not, then we know we'll take care of it under warranty or whatever if it's in that warranty range.
Oh, well, awesome. That's phenomenal. That, like, makes it, like, so, like, worry-free for me, like, that's just what, because, like, the mental load as parents, right, is so loaded down already, so I appreciate the fact that it's, like, you guys take care of that reminder component and just I know that it's taken care of.
Yeah, once we enter anybody into our system, we track their visits. We make sure that they get their visits done on time. They get an email, they get a text, and they get a. We'll leave them a voicemail if they don't answer the phone. Just hey,
Mhm.
look, it's time to get the unit service. We want to take all that off their plate. Don't
That's true.
don't worry about it. Typically, when we replace the system, we upgrade them to a 4-inch filter, so they don't have to worry about that as much neither. Typically, it's in line right with their maintenance visits. So again, we want to
How
take.
often do you have to change a 4-inch filter?
We do about every 6 months,
Dang,
depending.
they're good for that long?
Depending on the home, they can last that long.
Wow, that's awesome.
And
And are these, like, the disposable 4-inch? Are they
yeah,
reusable
not
4-inch?
disposable 4-inch filters and stuff. Like I said, it helps catch a lot more dust and stuff in the air, more particles and stuff. Way better than a 1-inch filter. 1-inch filter is just not designed to protect your equipment.
Mm.
It's going to allow dirt and dust through. 4-inch is not going to allow near as hardly anything through, and the system stays cleaner longer.
This is true too. I agree with all of that. With, with now say for instance, you got a larger home and you've got like 2 units outside. Does that necessarily mean you need 2 air scrubber units or do you still need just 1? Like,
Depending on the space of the home, size of the home.
okay.
Like if you're like 3,500 square feet on the home, then you're gonna need two because it's only gonna cover about 2,200 max.
Okay. I feel like most homes in the DFW area are in that 22 to 25 range.
Yeah, and one will do it right there. Typically, what we do is if there's a home like that, we'll just typically put in the one for the upstairs bedrooms.
Mm,
That way, then when they're sleeping, they have cleaner air, and that's where a lot of time is spent, mostly in the home. Very few times it's downstairs. There's a lot of
yeah,
people work, so by the time they get home or they're leaving in the morning, it's typically leaving out of their bedroom area.
yeah.
and
That's
stuff. The only time that the lower space is used is typically on the weekends, or maybe for an hour or two when they get home from work and the kids are home from school.
yeah, yeah, and like you said, just the weekends, but, like, with I don't even know, like but we were I mean, granted, Jason and I kinda semi work from home, so we're home a lot more, but just, like, I can only like, we for one, like, if you've got an asthmatic, I highly recommend this unit from what I've read on it. That's been Well, we moved from a house where, like, we had carpet, and then we moved to a house with literally no carpet, period. It's either tile or hardwood, and it has made a astronomical difference. Like, we even got rid of rugs, and I was just like, "We're not doing it," and it's made such a difference for our kiddos with asthma.
Yeah, rugs and carpet, they just harbor too much dirt, dust, and dandruff and stuff like that. You're
Mhm.
harboring the allergens as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also too, like, we've gotten really good at, like, changing our filter because we have just the 1 inch. And so, like, I didn't even know that we could upgrade. Like, that's something else that's cool that we would do. So that's like, we try and change them out every 3 weeks, but it's like one of our intakes is literally by the back door, and that's where the dogs come in and out. And I'm like, "That was a stupid design."
Yeah, you will find them.
Like, and that we have 2 air takes. One is by the bedrooms, front bedrooms, which is all kids, and then this one's by the back door, and I'm like, "Why would you do that?" This is so frustrating because it's like that one probably honestly needs to be replaced every 2 weeks because as often as we let the dogs in and out, like
Yeah, and typically that you don't want any intake by a door at all. Like
yeah,
that just allows so much to enter real quick and stuff. And if it's not properly filtered, it makes its way past that filter and up into the system. Oh, now you just start cycling it around.
mhm. Yeah, it's kinda what I feel like we do if we don't change those filters, and you can notice it pretty quickly. So, I'm like I said, I got my fingers crossed that, I'm not saying we will, but we did enter because I really do believe in this product after reading it, and that's all the information I've been trying to share is just like, "Guys, this thing, I'm telling you," like, hospitals are to the point where they're using it. NASA was like, "No, like, this thing is worth, us keeping our astronauts safe." Like, it's so awesome that we're able to clean our air.
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
yeah. Without it, it's like I said. Without it, I'll be super congested. It's crazy. And then, like I said, we noticed the dust. That's the big
Mhm,
another big feature of it is dust.
mhm,
Is when it's functioning normally, the dust is super low in the home. But because we're in a house like you, we don't have no carpet anywhere. We
mhm,
got all the rugs as well and stuff. When you have two big old Great Danes that track in dirt and dust every day,
mhm.
rugs don't make it very long
No.
and
It's like you're
stuff.
letting in too many cows. Like, they're just huge.
Yeah, and man, we don't. Once they take the toy outside, we don't let them bring it back in. We're like
Mm-mm.
the outside toy at this point. So, but yeah, they would destroy a rug, anything like that, and so much dirt. Like you're constantly sweeping up dust.
Mhm.
Them alone. So we noticed that, like I said, the bulb got near the end of the lifespan, and we started noticing the dust. And Jennifer picked up on it real quick. Obviously, it's like
Yeah.
it's super dusty in here. All our
Yes.
tables are dusty. Like it's not
Yes.
working. Sure enough, we check it, and it was time for the cell to be swapped. So as soon as we swapped the cell back to normal operations, dust went down.
So if we don't win one, what does one of these normally cost?
Installed, you're gonna be looking somewhere around. I think price book is gonna be somewhere right around $1,400.
Okay, so this is a $1,400 giveaway. That's
Yeah,
huge. That is a huge deal. So these suckers aren't cheap. Obviously, they work. They are commercial grade almost, I would say, from all the information I've read.
yeah. I mean, you can use them in a commercial space if you have the right size style system for them. Anything like
Mhm.
that. I mean, I've seen them in package units.
Wow.
So I mean, you see them anywhere. Like when the COVID craze hit, they were you couldn't get your hands on them. They were gone that fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And like I said, fortunately, we had had one before COVID. Just
Yeah.
and stuff. And actually, we didn't even have the. We just took out another competitor brand at that point, because we had just got one from the vendor that had them in stock that time, and we had swapped it because the competitor brand had just finally died off.
Mm,
And then we popped that one in, and no issues. I was
no issues,
I
yeah.
was the only one in the home to ever get COVID.
Well, I mean, you were in and out a lot of other people's homes, so I could see, that being the case. And
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
only one. No one else in my house got it, and me and my wife, right beside each other all the time. So nothing. I was blown away by that thing.
yeah.
And sickness in the house is very far in between.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
not
I
a lot
would
of
imagine
COVID.
it helps, like, because we have 5 kids, and so it seems like somebody is always one of them is bringing something home, and it would be nice to be able to have this unit to where it's like, at least it would contain it to the one instead of spreading it through, dragging it out from kid to kid to kid, and from your experience, it was like only you got sick and nobody else did.
Yeah, nobody else did. I was crazy with that because you're like, oh man, I'm gonna get my wife sick. When you first get all that, when they first bring it all out, they were like, oh, it's super contagious, and you're like, I'm standing right here beside her. It's like I'm
Yeah,
doing good here, and like I said, it works. I mean, I stand by believer of it, and I have hundreds of clients that have it, that they believe in it just as well. Like they could tell you exactly if they know that cell is getting weak. Like they'll call and tell. They'll be like, hey, I think
yeah,
it's down. And normally, like I said, it's typically checked on our maintenance visits anyway. So it's typically on that last year.
yeah,
About a year and 8 months is when they'll start to notice, hey, it's starting to get weak. We're starting to see dust.
there you go. That is awesome. God, I'm hopeful more people will, dive into this $1,400 giveaway. We know they work. We know we're coming up on cold and flu season. RSV has already been so RSV is like affects the little bitties and the elderly community. And RSV as a parent, like with an infant, scares me to death. It's it just it's so hard on their little bodies. It's so, so hard on them. So I highly recommend, because we're at flu season, RSV season, we've still got the COVID stuff going around that people, and then strep, like there's just so many reasons for allergies. If you've got sleep apnea, like whatever, this can help your home, help your kids. It's a $1,400 giveaway. Let's jump off into this and get you guys one installed. I highly recommend it. And then two, keep a lookout for the Thanksgiving giveaway you gonna have coming up.
Yeah, that's that's the next one. So
Awesome.
we're excited
Um,
about that.
yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna drop the link for this. I'm gonna let David get back to work. Don't leave so that I can end this. And then yeah. You got anything else for us before I hit the end button?
No, just make sure you stay on top of your filters. Get your system serviced. You're getting ready to go into heating season. You definitely need to have it checked. There's a bunch of safeties if you got gas heat that need to be cleaned, that need to be checked, and also carbon monoxide is the silent killer. You want to make sure it's tested before you go in there and have your family over for the holidays.
This
And
is true.
so, always take care of your heater just as important as your air conditioning in the summer.
This is true. Very true. Wise words. Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, any tips for us going into some of us haven't even kicked our heaters on yet. I know we did the other day, but yeah, was gonna be my next question was, do we have any tips for going into cold season? You named it.
Yeah, just they a lot of people will skip over the furnace and say, "Hey," but most people don't realize the furnace is used every day of the year. It's what pushes your air out for your air conditioning, and it's also what heats your home. So it's the main brain of your system. And like I said, gas burn off it's like I said, it's a silent killer. It does you don't know, and so it's always best to have it checked and gone through to make sure that your home is safe, because you can go to sleep real easy and not wake up from it, and we don't
This
want
is
that
true.
to happen. So
This is true. Yeah.
have
Yeah,
it.
and don't let your cousin work on it.
No, definitely don't do that. YouTube, I get it. Everybody goes there to look for how to fix stuff. I'm I'm one of those as well. When it comes to something that ain't heated and air, I'm the first one on YouTube trying to figure out if I can do it myself. But
Mhm.
when it gets to heating and air, electrical and plumbing, not wise. Like,
No.
leave it to us professionals.
Yes.
That way your home is safe.
Yes. Absolutely, absolutely. Alright, well, keep a look for the link for the giveaway, and, we'll be posting more information about the other stuff coming up later on in the month, and, thank you guys for tuning in.
No problem. You have a good one. Thank you.
Thanks.